Hello students, this is Dr. Chetna Kumarvat. In today's lecture, we will understand the classification of ratios. As we know, each business entity has its own problems. Different ratios are computed to analyze these problems. Ratio expert Spencer A. Tricker, PE, has analyzed such 429 ratios in his book Successful Management Controlled by Ratio Analysis. Discussion of all these ratios here is neither feasible nor desirable. Hence, significant financial ratios based on balance sheet and profit and loss account are classified on the following basis. Structural classification. This is the conventional mode of classifying ratios, where the ratios are classified on the basis of information given in the financial statements, that is, balance sheet and profit and loss account, to which the determinants of the ratios belong. On this basis, all the ratios are grouped as follows. Number 1. Balance sheet ratios. The component for computation of these ratios are drawn from balance sheet. These ratios are called financial ratios. Examples of such ratios are current ratios, liquid ratio, debt equity ratio, proprietary ratio, capital gear ratio, fixed assets ratio, etc. Number 2. Profit and loss account ratios. The figures used for the calculation of these ratios are usually taken out from the P&L account. These ratios are also called income statement ratios or operating ratios. Example of such ratios are gross profit ratio, net profit ratio, operating ratio, expenses ratio, stock turnover ratio, etc. Number 3. Interstatement ratios or combined ratios. The information required for the computation of these ratios is normally drawn from both the balance sheet and profit and loss account. Examples of such ratios are return on capital employed, return on owner's fund, return on total investment, debtor turnover ratios, creditors turnover ratios, fixed assets turnover ratios, working capital turnover ratios, etc. Functional classification. Nowadays, it is the most popular mode of classifying the ratios. Accordingly, the ratios may be grouped on the basis of certain tests which satisfy the needs of the parties having financial interest in the business concern. For example, creditors or banks have interest in the liquidity of the firm, debenture holders in the long-term solvency, and shareholders in the profitability of the firm. The ratios may be grouped as per different interests or objectives as under Number 1. Liquidity ratios. These ratios are used to measure the ability of the firm to meet its short-term obligations out of its short-term resources. Such ratios highlight short-term solvency of the firm. Examples of such ratios are current ratio, liquid or quick ratio, absolute liquidity ratio. Number 2. Activity or efficiency ratios. These ratios enable the management to measure the effectiveness or the uses of the resources at the command of the firm. Following ratios are included in this category: stock turnover ratio, debtors turnover ratio, creditors turnover ratio, total assets turnover ratio, fixed assets turnover ratio, current assets turnover ratio, working capital turnover ratio and capital turnover ratio. Number 3, profitability ratios. These ratios are intended to measure the end result of business operations, that is profitability. Profitability is a measure of the ability to make a profit expressed in relation to the sales or investments. And as such, the following ratios are computed in this category based on sales are like gross profit ratio, operating ratio, expenses ratio, operating profit ratios, and net profit ratio. Based on capital or investments, return on capital employed, return on net worth or shareholders' funds, return on equity shareholders' fund, return on total assets. Number 4, capital structure or leverage ratios. These ratios help in measuring the financial contribution of the owners as compared to that of creditors and also the risk in debt financing. The long-term solvency of the business can be examined by using leverage ratios. Following are such important ratios: debt equity ratio, proprietary ratio, solvency or debt to total assets ratio, fixed assets to net worth ratio, capital gearing ratio, interest coverage or debt service ratio, dividend coverage ratio. Number 5, investment analysis ratios. These ratios are helpful to the shareholders in analyzing the prospective investment in the company. Shareholders are able to know the future market price of their investment with the help of these ratios. Following ratios are included in this category: earning per share, price earning ratio, dividend per share, dividend yield ratio, dividend payment ratio, and book value per share. Thus, ratios are classified with different point of views, but from analytical point of view, the functional classification is more appropriate as it highlights the utility of different ratios. So this is it for today's lecture. Thank you so much.